Hello, this is B4R, and finally the Cfmoto 450MT has arrived in my city. This is a shop I went and saw it. Don't comment on what I'm doing here because I wasn't speaking a lot. Basically, you will hear after I leave the shop my opinion, but I just want to show you what I'm doing here because it's important. Maybe, if you are tall, I'm very tall, so I think I said it's big, it looks big, like a big bike. You see the Himalayan next to it, and we're gonna do some comparison. So here you see I'm sitting normally, and my leg is touching on the plastic, and now I've moved myself back. That's why I see it fitting. So I'm moving my butt front and back. I want to explain to you what's going on with the problem I'm mentioning, which is on many bikes. Got here a Fuji 525 DSX. So when you're tall and your legs come out here instead of behind the plastics, what happens is your leg will go kind of inwards. To press the brake, you need to make a movement that's downwards, okay? If your leg is like this, your natural movement is this way, okay, and not this way. To be more natural, this thing here, if you don't fit, should be more outside, away from the bike. Otherwise you're uncomfortable. Sitting more back is not a very wise thing to do, because you've got, say, this is the bike and the tank here, and this is the wheel, and this is the seat here, and this is the rear wheel, and you sit in a position where the gravity takes you. So you sit in a dip here. This is B4R, for example, sitting here. You can't just sit back and call it a day, because you have less room for the passenger. You will need to change the seat by pushing yourself back, and generally it's not a good idea. As I said, this is just the problem of the plastics here. A smaller motorcycle in size, which is the Honda CB500X. Here I've got the Honda, and you can't really see it, but there is a big gap here. I can easily fit my legs in here without having this bending problem that I showed you. So that's why I call some bikes bad designs for tall people. As you will see later on in the video, my leg comes to here. I also thought I would fit in this bike, but I don't, because this is very close to the engine. Something you can't tell from this photo. Here, my leg comes to here, but the foot peg is further away from the engine and slightly more comfortable than the Himalayan. Both these problems would disappear if they had made a bigger gap here, like the Honda has. So if Chinese or Indian manufacturers are watching this video, consider this for your next model. Just leave a gap here, bigger gap, or bring this more out. If you bring them more out, then when you're turning, you will touch the ground sooner. So it's preferable to change this than moving this further out, I guess. Besides that, I think it's possible for me to drive both bikes. I've driven bikes with this same problem, as let's call it like that, which was much more annoying than what it is on these bikes, much more annoying, and I could drive it. But for tall people, if you want a comfortable bike, you want this problem not to exist at all. Nothing, zero. As you will see in the video later on. When I sit on the 450 NK, because your legs go under here and the footer is probably a bit more back, the foot peg, there is no problem. You sit perfectly on this bike. The same goes for the Hunter I also sit on later, which is a smaller bike, but because it's got nothing extremely extruding here, it just fit on it fine, even if you're tall. It will look funny because it's a small bike, and if someone looks at you from the side, it will be weird, but you fit better on this bike than you fit on the Himalayan of Royal Enfield. And you fit better on the NK than you fit on the 450 MT. So I think that this is something all the companies that make bikes should work on. So here you see I'm sitting normally and my leg is touching on the plastic, and now I've moved myself back. That's why I see it fitting. So I'm moving my butt front and back. Playing with the clutch, you see the softness, soft. It's not Honda soft, Honda CB500 soft, but it's soft, it's very soft. The seat, very comfortable. It's, I'm comparing it with the Himalayan next to it, and it's maybe slightly different material, but it's very close, very, very similar. Oh, much heavier to lift. Less comfortable. I'm saying there it's heavy to lift up, and it's really heavy to lift up, and you see we've got the problem with my leg not fitting. Pretty much the same. It seems lower. This harder than the other one. Feels lower. And you see I have to turn my foot inwards kind of to press the brake. Similar here on the 450 MT, but it's not as bad. See the foot peg is slightly outwards. This one is more comfortable. Although I'm still touching. I think they've changed the plastics on the 700. I used to fit, I think I fitted well on the 600. Softer. It's more comfortable than all of them for my leg. Soft again. It's pretty much the same on all of them. I did say though it's softer on the 450. But it doesn't feel like it's got suspension. Oh, this is hard. Feels like it's got no suspension, but it's very comfortable to sit on the seat. It's very soft. These are all the Royal Enfields feel like smaller bikes, and you're sitting on top of them. The different style of bike, but they are all comfortable because there's no plastics, weird plastics. Yeah, the seats got like they've got a spring in them or something. They're very squishy. This is very comfortable, but I don't know. I'm very high up. Very comfortable seat on the Royal Enfield. And here, look how pointy is the plastic where my knee. Look, that's not nice. So here my leg also finds. So I would say the Royal Enfields are more comfortable, this one, and then the empty and kind. So that was the least comfortable one. So this got some elasticity. This is stiff. This is the stick everybody's complaining is coming off. This is hard, it's fine. This is a bit like that. Same plastic. Hard like that one. This is softer. This is soft. Metal. Plastic. Plastic, plastic, plastic. Perfect. So if you're a tourist and in Hanya, Crete, it's many called Tsania because the way it's spelled Tsania. It's not Tsania, it's Hanya. So Venyanakis, it's at the area of Sula if you want to go and have a look at it. And it will be there for 15 days. He told me he won't sell it for people who can go and look at this bike. So they finally brought the 450 MT, as you saw in the video. This is the old port of Hanya. Yeah, 450 MT and the Himalayan next to that. First off, 450 MT, for those who are asking, looks big, okay? It doesn't look like a small bike like an Angelo 300, for example. Himalayan, it feels like you're sitting on top of the bike. The 450 MT, you sit in the bike. I like that position. I really didn't, because I was holding the camera, didn't see how high the handlebars were, but I guess I'll look at the video and tell you after. Oh my god, I nearly fell. Oh. So, there's a boat over here. So as you see in the video, my legs barely fit.
I'm looking at her. I mean, it's in
Japanese
Japanese.
duck, some child. Okay. So as you saw, my feet don't fit on any of the MTs, like the 800. I think it was the 39 degrees or whatever. The 600 or 700 was the 700, the new one. I think I fitted better on the 600. Maybe they've changed the plastics on the 700 compared to the 600. I remember I fitted perfectly on the 600 or 650, whatever it was. So consider that. The clutches, I don't fit here. The clutches are exactly the same on all three MTs. They feel to me the softness exactly the same. They are softer than the Royal Enfield. The seats on both bikes, the Himalayan and the 450 MT, feel exactly the same. When you sit on them, maybe there's a bit more suspension, softness, maybe slightly more on the 450 MT. When you sit on the 450 MT, you feel like it's big, like it's a big motorcycle. When you sit on the Himalayan, it feels like a small bike. Also, when you lift up, like I saw a guy made a video, when you lift up the Himalayan, it feels heavy because the side stand is on the very low. It lowers the bike to the side a lot. But I think it's not only that, I think it feels heavier. Like when I lifted up the MT about the same position, the Himalayan felt much heavier. So yes, it does feel, when you lift it up, much heavier. Of course you won't feel that when you're driving, probably, because I think they weigh about the same, but that's what it felt like. Maybe one was empty, one was full, I don't know. Now, compared to the bigger ones, when you look at them next to the 700 looks smaller than the 450 MT. The 800s look similar, maybe a bit bigger, but as you saw in the video, for a tall person they're pretty much the same. Of course I reach down on all of them because I'm tall, so don't ask me if you reach down easily. If you don't know, I'm around 2 meters tall. If you haven't been watching my videos in the past. Then I tried some of the other Royal Enfield motorcycles and they were more comfortable. My feet fitted better. They were all smaller bikes,
in size, and you're on top of all of them. But if it, because there's nothing plastic to annoy your leg, the seats are all softer on the other Himalayans. The other Royal Enfields. Soft seats, they've got cushioning, more cushioning. Which maybe it's not a good thing on long rides, I don't know. The most comfortable Cfmoto was the NK450, because the way the plastics are shaped, your leg fits without a problem. I think the Royal Enfield was the Hunter, which is a small bike, but if you totally fit on it might look funny. I forgot to ask to take me shots from the side, doesn't matter. And it's the hottest day of the year here. It will be, it's not so hot yet. I think it'll be around 34 now, and it'll be 37 later. But it's okay now, it's not so bad. Oh, there's a fish in the water. I don't know if you can see it. There's plenty of fish. For the price compared to the competition, it's cool. I fit better on the CB500, but yeah, it's a much bigger bike in person. It looks much bigger than the Himalayan in person. You saw some parts are plastic. Most of it, what you see outside, is plastic. The Himalayan, only the tank is metal. The part that's behind is plastic. Oh, I'm gonna sit here for a second. Yeah, give it a try. I think you will like it. Like if you've been on a CB500, this is like an upgrade to that. Κάνουμε και γυμναστική σήμερα. Εδώ βάζουν κλειδαριές και καλά οι παντρεμένοι, καινούρια μόδα. Αυτά δεν υπήρχαν παλιά. Έχω καιρό να έρθω. Okay. Θα σου πω μια αστεία ιστορία γι' αυτό εδώ. Θα κατέβουμε να σας δείξω κιόλας. Something I forgot is that the plastics of the fender in the front are a bit softer on the Himalayan than on the 450. A bit more off-road oriented plastics. Λοιπόν, μια μέρα είχα έρθει εδώ με κάτι φίλος μου όταν ήμουν μικρός. Εδώ ήταν, ναι. Και είχε ένα ξύλο εδώ. Το έχουν βγάλει, το έχουν φτιάξει μάλλον. Και κουτουλάμε, το χτυπάμε το ξύλο και κουνήθηκε όλο το μέρος, ρε φίλε. Ακούστηκε ένα σαν αφού δεν έπεσε πάνω μας, πάλι καλά. Λοιπόν, κάτι παίζει εκεί, θα έχω demonetize το βίντεο. Ποιος παίζει? Εκεί έχει μια μπάντα. Ωραία. Τι έχει εδώ μέσα? Για να δω. Αχα, δεν βλέπω από εκεί τι έχει, δεν βάζω κεφάλι.